Hi everyone, today I will have the opportunity to talk about this book that is To Kill a Monkingbird, and I will explain the chapter 20. But first of all, you have to know some information from chapter 17, 18 and 19 because chapter 20 is just a conclusion from those chapters. So for that reason, you have to know this information. Firstly, in chapter 17, the judgment against Tom Robinson commenced. For that reason, Mr. Evil was giving some information about the situation that his daughter passed, and also he was describing the injuries that his daughter had in the right side of her face. Atticus inferred that the person who hit her was a left-hand person because for him it was impossible that someone who was right-hand could hit her. Then in the chapter 18 you can see that Violet Ewell, who was Mr. Ewell's daughter, she had the opportunity to give some statements, and she said that for her it was the first time that she saw Tom Robinson. Also, she said that the person who raped her was Tom Robinson, and in that moment Atticus asked Tom Robinson to stand up, and in that moment when he stand up, all the people were very surprised because he didn't have the left hand, and it was supposed that the person who hit Violet Evil was a left-hand person. So in the next chapter, in chapter 19, you have the opportunity to listen Tom Robinson talking about the situation that happened on November 1st, and he was saying that for him it was not the first time that he saw Violet Evil, because for him it was very common that she asked him to do some favors, but on November 21 she asked him to repair a door. But when he got into the house, he was very confused because the door was in a very good conditions, and in that moment he was very confused. But Violet Evil was trying to do something else, and she tried to kiss him. In that moment, you can see that in front of the window it was Mr. Evil, and in that moment Tom Robinson was very afraid about that situation, that he just ran away. So you can see that the other lawyer that was in the court, he started to make some disgusting questions, and that is the way how the chapter 20 commences. You can see that he started to make some disgusting questions. That Deal, who was in that place, he started to feel very bad about that, and he left the place, and Scott did the same. And they were talking outside with Dolphus, and Dolphus gave to Deal a cup of Coca-Cola, and he started to feel better. For that reason, they enter again to the place to listen the conclusion of the case, and they listen Atticus giving a speech talking about some of the things that people have to know. First of all, they have to know that the people who were there didn't present a medical document. Also, they have to know that the person who hit her, it was supposed to be a left-hand person, but Tom Robinson didn't have the left hand because when he was younger he lost his hand when he was working. And at the same moment, Atticus was trying to move the people to believe that that man was innocent, and he was talking about equality, and he was talking about some of the phrases that Thomas Jefferson said about equality, and he was trying to move the feelings of the people to believe that that guy was innocent. And he received a letter, and the letter said that Scott and Jem were not at home, and for that reason he said to Jem and Scott that they have to return home, and then they will have the opportunity to return to listen the conclusion of the case. In that moment, you can see that Jem was pretty sure that Atticus won, but you will not have the opportunity to listen the conclusion of the case in this chapter. But something that I can say it is that I was very disappointed when I was reading this chapter, because I was very happy and I was pretty sure that Tom Robinson was innocent, because there were a lot of things that proved that he was innocent. But Atticus was not so sure about that situation, and you can see that in chapter 21. I will give you some spoilers about that. All the people said that that guy was guilty, and for that reason, that is the way how the case concluded. Atticus was very disappointed, and all the people who were there were very disappointed too, because a lot of people believed that that person was innocent. And that is the way how the chapter 20 ends. And thank you very much for watching, and that's all.